The year is 2025. Singapore, a tiny island nation with barely any natural resources, stands tall as a global economic powerhouse. Its gleaming skyscrapers, world-class infrastructure, and high standard of living are the envy of many. On the other hand, the Philippines, a nation blessed with abundant natural resources and a vibrant population, continues to grapple with poverty, corruption, and underdevelopment. What led to these starkly different outcomes? The answer, in part, lies in the leadership of Lee Kuan Yew, Singapore's founding father, and the path the Philippines did not take. This essay explores a tantalizing what-if scenario. What if the Philippines had embraced Lee Kuan Yew's leadership principles? By comparing the developmental trajectories of these two Southeast Asian nations, we can glean valuable insights into the factors that propelled Singapore's success and the challenges that continue to plague the Philippines. Could the Philippines have charted a different course, transforming itself into a prosperous and equitable nation? Let us delve into this thought-provoking exploration of leadership, policy choices, and their profound impact on national destinies. To understand the divergent paths of Singapore and the Philippines, we must rewind to the 1960s, a pivotal decade for both nations. It was a time of great change and opportunity as both countries emerged from the shadows of colonial rule, ready to chart their own courses in the world. Both nations emerged from the shackles of colonialism with similar aspirations for progress and prosperity. They were filled with hope and ambition, eager to build a brighter future for their people. The air was thick with the promise of new beginnings and the excitement of newfound independence. The Philippines, in fact, held a distinct economic advantage, boasting a higher per capita income than its Southeast Asian counterparts, including Singapore. Manila was a bustling hub of commerce and culture, a city that seemed poised to lead the region into a new era of prosperity. Both nations possessed young populations, strategic geographical locations, and a shared colonial legacy, albeit under different colonial powers. These commonalities provided a strong foundation upon which to build their futures. The youth were vibrant and full of potential, ready to take on the challenges of a rapidly changing world. However, the seeds of divergence were sown in the choices made and the paths taken. The decisions of their leaders, the policies they implemented, and the directions they chose would ultimately shape the destinies of these two nations in profoundly different ways. Singapore, under the astute leadership of Lee Kuan Yew, embarked on an ambitious nation-building project. Lee Kuan Yew's vision was clear and unwavering. He saw the potential in his small island nation and was determined to unlock it. Lee Kuan Yew, a visionary leader with an unwavering determination to transform his resource-scarce island into a first-world nation, recognized that Singapore's only resource was its people. He believed that with the right education and opportunities, the people of Singapore could achieve greatness. He invested heavily in education, healthcare, and infrastructure, attracting foreign investment and fostering a culture of meritocracy and innovation. These investments laid the groundwork for Singapore's rapid development and economic success, turning it into a global powerhouse. Meanwhile, the Philippines, despite its initial advantages, grappled with political instability, corruption, and a lack of clear direction. The promise of the 60s gave way to a series of challenges that hindered the nation's progress and stifled its potential. While Singapore surged ahead, the Philippines lagged, its potential stifled by systemic issues that hindered its growth. The contrast between the two nations became increasingly stark, a testament to the power of leadership, vision, and the choices made along the way. Lee Kuan Yew, often described as a pragmatic visionary, implemented a unique blend of policies that propelled Singapore's transformation. His leadership was marked by a relentless focus on economic development, social stability, and national unity. He believed that a small nation like Singapore could not afford to be complacent and needed to constantly innovate and adapt to changing global dynamics. He understood that for a small nation to survive and thrive in a competitive global landscape, it needed to punch above its weight. This meant not only competing with larger economies, but also setting benchmarks in various sectors, from education to technology, that would make Singapore a model for other nations. He focused on establishing a clean and efficient government, attracting foreign direct investment, and developing a highly skilled workforce. By creating a conducive environment for businesses and ensuring that the workforce was well educated and trained, he laid the foundation for sustainable economic growth. Central to his approach was a strict stance against corruption. Lee Kuan Yew believed that corruption was not just a moral failing, but a significant impediment to progress. He often stated that a corrupt government would lose the trust of its people and the confidence of investors. Lee Kuan Yew believed that corruption was a cancer that eroded public trust and hindered economic growth. He implemented stringent anti-corruption laws and established institutions to enforce them, ensuring that public officials were held to the highest standards of integrity. He instilled a culture of accountability and transparency with severe penalties for graft and corruption. This not only deterred corrupt practices, but also fostered a sense of fairness and justice within the society, making Singapore one of the least corrupt countries in the world. He also prioritized meritocracy, ensuring that the most capable individuals, regardless of their background, were entrusted with leadership positions. This approach helped to harness the full potential of Singapore's diverse population, driving innovation and excellence in various fields. This stood in stark contrast to the Philippines, where political dynasties and patronage networks often took precedence over merit. Lee Kuan Yew's meritocratic policies ensured that talent and hard work were rewarded, creating a more dynamic and competitive society. Furthermore, Lee Kuan Yew recognized the importance of infrastructure in driving economic growth. He believed that world-class infrastructure was essential for attracting investment and facilitating trade, which in turn would create jobs and improve living standards. He invested heavily in building world-class airports, seaports, and transportation networks, transforming Singapore into a global logistics and transportation hub. These investments not only boosted the economy, but also enhanced Singapore's strategic importance on the global stage. His policies, while often criticized for their authoritarian tendencies, delivered undeniable results, propelling Singapore from a developing nation to a high-income economy in a single generation. Lee Kuan Yew's vision and leadership have left an indelible mark on Singapore, making it a shining example of what can be achieved with determination, foresight, and unwavering commitment to progress. Section 4. The Philippine Predicament, a legacy of missed opportunities. In contrast to Singapore's focused approach, the Philippines grappled with a multitude of challenges that hampered its growth and development. Political instability, characterized by frequent changes in leadership and policy direction, created an environment of uncertainty that discouraged long-term investment. Corruption, deeply entrenched in various sectors of society, siphoned off resources that could have been channeled into education, healthcare, and infrastructure. The Philippines also struggled with a culture of patronage politics, where loyalty to political patrons often took precedence over merit and competence. This system fostered cronyism and nepotism, hindering the emergence of a truly meritocratic society. Moreover, the lack of long-term vision and comprehensive planning resulted in short-sighted solutions that failed to address the root causes of poverty and inequality. While Singapore invested heavily in education and skills development, the Philippines lagged behind, resulting in a mismatch between the skills of its workforce and the demands of the global economy. Section 5. A glimpse into an alternate reality. The Philippines Under LKY. Imagine for a moment a different reality. A reality where the Philippines, at a pivotal moment in its history, chose a path less traveled. What if the Philippines, at that crucial juncture in the 1960s, had embraced Lee Kuan Yew's leadership principles? Lee Kuan Yew, the visionary leader who transformed Singapore from a struggling port city into a global powerhouse, could have brought his transformative vision to the Philippines. What if, instead of succumbing to the allure of short-term gains and political expediency, the Philippines had embarked on a path of disciplined governance, meritocratic leadership, and strategic investments in education, healthcare, and infrastructure? Imagine a government that prioritized long-term prosperity over immediate gratification, focusing on building a strong foundation for future generations. In this alternate reality, Metro Manila, instead of being plagued by traffic congestion, pollution and urban decay, could have mirrored the modern, efficient and sustainable cityscape of Singapore. The bustling streets would be orderly, the air cleaner and the urban environment more livable for its residents. World-class airports and seaports would have transformed the Philippines into a global logistics hub, attracting foreign investment and creating millions of jobs. The country would be a vital link in the global supply chain, with state-of-the-art facilities handling goods from all over the world. A robust education system focused on nurturing critical thinking, innovation and technical skills would have equipped Filipinos to compete in the global knowledge economy. Schools and universities would be centers of excellence, producing graduates ready to tackle the challenges of the modern world.